Let's do a real quick update on what's going on in Ukraine. Today is June 9th, 2022. It's the end of the day for me here in Thailand. It's probably just getting going for people elsewhere around the world. As I like to do, I like to take a look at this very pro-Ukrainian map. I mean, it is pro-Ukrainian, and almost all of the sources are from, for example, the Ukrainian General Staff or the government of Ukraine. So let's check it out here. And let's go from southern Ukraine all the way around to northeast Ukraine, or the Donbas region. And let's take a look at Odessa. Odessa is in the news. They're talking about getting this grain out of Ukraine by Odessa port, but they can't. They keep claiming that it's because of a Russian blockade. And it is not because of a Russian blockade. It is because of Ukrainian mines. And I want to show you a Western news source that admits that it's Ukrainian mines, but they're still at the same time saying it's a Russian blockade. So let's take a look at that. From The Guardian, Russia and the West compete to secure safe passage for Ukraine's grain. Both sides agree grain must reach world markets soon, but each wants to decide how. Let's look for the word mines. Ukraine's backlog of 20 million tons of grain needs to be exported quickly to avoid a further explosion of food prices. That is not possible due to the Russian naval blockade of the Black Sea port of Odessa and Ukrainian floating mines planted to block the port from Russian attack. Well, this is a much bigger problem. If Russia said, fine, go, get the grain, those ships still can't do it because of the mines floating around in Odessa port. Commercial shipping has already started in and out of Mariupol, that is controlled by Russia, but that's because Russia demined the port. Ukraine set up mines there also. Russia removed them, and now commercial shipping has started. So this is not Russia's fault. This is Ukraine. And Ukraine continues to say, we're not going to send the grain until we get all kinds of guarantees, until we get this and that. So they're using the threat of high food prices, of famine, to just get what they want. They're the ones actually weaponizing this grain, not Russia. Back to the map, the city of Kherson, this is still held by Russia. There's no trace of the offensive that was launched there, I guess, about a week ago now. All is quiet on the front with Zaporozhye. As I've said, shipping continues to go in and out of the port at Mariupol. And now let's look at the Donbas region. First of all, Donetsk. This map isn't going to show you about this, but if you're following Russian sources, they will tell you about daily shelling of Donetsk. The downtown area of Donetsk is a purely civilian target, and Ukraine is hammering it every single day. And you don't hear about that in the Western media. It's a war crime. They're doing it deliberately, and only the Russian side is covering it. But that shouldn't surprise anybody. And they have videos of this coming out every single day. So it is definitely happening. The West is just ignoring it. If we go north, Popasnia, this salient continues to grow to the north, to the northeast. There's a cauldron developing here. Russian forces are much further along in Severodonetsk. They're just not updating the map. All of this is taken by Russia. Ukrainian forces are clinging to this industrial zone. And as I've said, because this is a pro-Ukrainian map, they are going to wait until the very last minute to update it. One thing that they have updated, though, is around here. This salient forming here, and this is all Russia reaching down to Slovyansk. Russian sources say they are much closer to Slovyansk. We still see heavy shelling by Russia on Ukrainian positions outside of Kharkov. Now, I have a Telegram channel. The link is in the video description below in this video. Check that out. Follow me on Telegram. I post other situation reports from other sources, including pro-Russian sources, because all of my sources are pro-Ukrainian. I put in those pro-Russian sources to give some balance so you can see where Russia says they are. So follow me on Telegram. You can get this additional information. I also post a lot of other interesting short stories there on Telegram. That is the situation in Ukraine. Russian forces continue moving. They continue taking territory slowly but surely. And I keep hearing people in the comment sections, they keep saying, Brian, you keep saying that Russia is making progress. You know, they're encroaching on Ukrainian forces. Ukrainian forces are falling back. You say that every single week. I think you're just making it up. Well, this is a huge, huge battlefront. Just in the Donbas region alone, the battlefront is over 300 kilometers long. Okay, we're talking about tens of thousands of troops fighting Ukrainians in positions that they fortified over the course of 8 years. It's going to be a long and slow battle, or that's what we're watching unfold. If I did an update every 3 months, you would see huge progress between updates, but because I do them regularly, the amount of progress is going to be very small, but it's progress nonetheless, even according to the pro-Ukrainian map. Now I got something else I want to share with you. I saw Jackson Hinkle. I'm going to put his the video he did in the video description below, a link to it. He went through this entire interview by the Financial Times of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, but I just want to show you one short part of it. I want you, the viewer, to listen to President Zelenskyy admit that Ukraine is losing, that they need all kinds of equipment to win. They need a 10-to-1 advantage to take back the territory they've lost to Russia. I want you to hear it from the president of Ukraine himself. Let's listen.
We were speaking about a stalemate, Mr. President. How do you break the stalemate? And are you expecting your victory to be on the battlefield?
Definitely. Absolutely. Victory must be achieved on the battlefield. Or, so to say, not only victory, but rather a reliable situation on the battlefield, where we would be able to see our clear position and the powerful equipment of ours, which is not inferior to Russian troops and equipment. This is what we are headed towards. And this is what we strive to achieve, because in order to advance, as you will know, you need more than 10 times the advantage over the enemy. We definitely have the strongest desire than Russians, but we are inferior in terms of equipment. Therefore, we are not capable of advancing. This is a very important point. That is what's going to ensure the way out from the stalemate, or whatever you call it. Until we do not have it, it will be very difficult for us. We are going to suffer more losses, and people is my priority.
We are not capable of advancing. We are inferior in terms of equipment. This is the president of Ukraine. I don't know what else to tell you. If you still think somehow Ukraine is winning, okay. The president of Ukraine is telling you they are not winning. They are losing. He was referring to the stalemate, or whatever you call it, because whatever you call it would be actually losing. They're losing. He said they're suffering losses. Look at a pro-Ukrainian map showing you the situation on the ground. They are losing territory every single day. That is called losing. That's not even a stalemate. That is losing. This is the Ukrainian president saying they need more equipment. They need a 10-to-1 advantage on the battlefield, which apparently they don't have, in order to push the Russians back. And that is not going to happen. The United States is talking about sending these multiple launch rocket systems. Those take 4 weeks at least just to train entry-level operators. You need other support equipment and support personnel to network them together, to coordinate them on the battlefield. That takes years to learn to do. Ukraine doesn't have years. They're going to put these rocket launchers out onto the field. The US is only sending 4. The UK is only sending 3. When you put that together, it's not even a full battery of multiple launch rocket systems. It's not even a full battery, it's 9 launchers. This is what is going on in Ukraine. That's why I just did a video about the Western media, how they're changing their tune, how they're looking for excuses to explain why for the last couple of months they made it out as if Ukraine was winning, when in fact they were doing the opposite of that. They were losing. If Russia is taking territory every single day and moving forward on the battlefield every single day, then Ukraine is doing the opposite of that. That is called losing. The Western media is finally getting around to reporting it, because when everything is over, there's going to be no way to spin it. Well, right now, people are still trying to spin what's going on in Ukraine. From this point on, let's just keep an eye on the grain situation. This is a diplomatic and also economic game. For more details on that, I would highly suggest following the Duran. Again, I will put the link to all of this in the video description below. The multiple launch rocket systems that the US and the UK are sending, that is over a month away from getting onto the battlefield. That is not entering into the equation until a month from now. And when it does enter onto the battlefield, Russia will be looking for it with their surveillance drones, with their artillery, with their own large number of rocket launchers, their aviation. They have all of their aviation at their disposal. They will be looking for them, and they will destroy them just like they destroyed all of Ukraine's other multiple launch rocket systems. Yes, they started out this conflict with their own rocket launchers. They're all gone. Russia destroyed them. Russia will destroy these ones as well. I will keep an eye on this, and I will continue doing updates. Again, if you want very regular updates on every little thing that's going on, follow me on Telegram. I up that several times a day. Until then, it will probably be another day or two before I do another video, at least on Ukraine. If you thought this video was useful, please like and share. Think about subscribing. It's free to do. It helps the channel grow. Check the video description below for other places you can find and follow my work. I mentioned Telegram. There's also Odyssey and Rumble. In the video description below will be the links that I refer to, including this Financial Times interview. The whole video is up on YouTube under Financial Times' channel. Jackson Hinkle's his video about this interview, that link will be there as well. Also in the video description below are ways you can help support my work. I am able to do this on a day-to-day basis because my audience supports me in this endeavor, and I greatly appreciate that. You can do that through Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, and also PayPal. Again, thank you everyone who is helping out month to month or through one-time donations. And if you can't help that way, even if you're just sharing my work with other people, I also greatly appreciate that. I couldn't do it without that help. Thank you, and as always, thank you for watching.